Hi, how's it going?
It is going fine. Is our boy there?
He's here. He's saying hi, Mom. He's blowing you kisses.
He always does that. Emma, how are you doing today? You doing good?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. A little nervous, but I'm doing good. He's been with me today,
Don't
so
worry. Yeah.
yeah, he's been bugging me all day. He's like, "Come on, you can do this." I'm like, "Okay, okay."
He'll provide us with comic relief. Don't worry. So,
Oh, I'm pretty sure he will.
all right. So one thing I would like to talk about today is the third eye. A lot of people don't know what that is. What in the heck is it, Eric? Tell us what you can about it.
Well, he's saying, okay. He's saying the third eye is actually a internal organ that it's kind of like a bridge between spiritual world and our world here on earth. It's a place, it's an energy spot where the body and the mind come together.
Okay.
He says, I'm glad you brought this up because he says, Mom, how we've been talking about being lost, feeling disconnected,
Yeah.
feeling like we don't belong here, the world's a mess, and what the hell are we doing here, and things like that. And he says, we've been talking about that a lot. Now, opening your third eye could actually help you get a better connection. It will create that bridge between here and the other dimensions. So you'll get a different view, a different perspective of the world around you. You'll actually see the connections between everything and everybody.
Wow.
And that really might help a lot of people to get out of that funk and say, oh, wait a minute, okay. So there is something here that does connect us all. And it might actually, if we could all open it, we could actually feel that connection back as a whole, as one consciousness. So he says it's a really important thing. And he says it's weird, I've never talked about it for some reason, but I don't know. Maybe people weren't ready yet, he says.
Yeah, I've never even thought to ask. I mean, I've asked general stuff about chakras, but that's about it. But is the third eye, is that the crown chakra, or is it something different?
No, he says it's the third eye. It's a brow chakra. It's right here.
Okay.
And he says it's actually, and you should know this as a physician. He says it's the pineal gland.
Oh, the pineal gland, right?
Right. It kind of looks like a pine cone. He says, and it's like smack in the middle of the brain.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, I mean, people have known this for centuries. He says. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. He said in the Egyptians, they used to call it the eye of Horus or something.
Okay.
Cool. Even in Catholicism, he says they use pine. If you look closely, they have a lot of pine cones in the Vatican, a lot of pine cone statues. Even the staff of the Pope has a pine cone in it.
Wow.
That resembles the third eye. So it's actually not a big secret. He says the problem is people who run the world, politics, and not so nice people who like to have control of everything knew about this and actually tried to numb that organ, basically like stop it from working properly in order to kind of keep, the lambs, following the big leaders.
Yeah.
Kind of keep us more mellow and following, and I don't know how you call it.
Awful.
Docile?
Yeah. Docile, yeah.
Docile? I don't know. If my English isn't correct, I'm sorry. Sometimes I hear words that I don't know what they mean.
Oh, Erik said that?
Yeah.
Erik? Oh, okay.
It's me. I don't know. My English isn't all the best,
it's pretty good.
But I try my best to say what he says, so hopefully you'll understand it. So yeah, so this is not a big secret, and he says he says okay. He says the reason he thinks it just now came up is because it's like you have to kind of know the theory first, and then you have to have the experience. So he says we've been explaining a lot how it works, how the afterlife is this and that. He says now it's time for people to actually experience it right here on Earth.
Wow.
You know, everybody can do this, and it is by opening that pineal gland, basically by detoxing it.
I'm going to ask specifics about how to do that, but first I want to see if you could share, Erik, any other signs that a person does not have. Well, first, before I forget, how do the big wigs try to numb our pineal gland or destroy it or whatever? What did they do? Put something in the water supply or something?
He's going like this. He's saying yes, yes. He's saying we've talked about this before. He says fluoride.
Oh yeah, fluoride, right?
Fluoride. They put it in the water. What it does is the pineal gland it's like a magnet to fluoride. It's actually, if you look at the body, the pineal gland has the most fluoride in all of the organs.
Oh, huh.
So it magnifies, or it's like a magnet that attracts it, he says. And then, but the problem is what it does is it calcifies the membrane of it.
Okay.
Therefore, it doesn't work properly.
Oh.
He says another thing is mercury.
Oh gosh, yeah.
He says the problem is it's all vaccinations have it. Mercury is a very hard metal, I guess, that is hard to leave the body.
Okay.
And it's also in fillings, he says, in teeth, when they fill your teeth. So it's always kind of hard to get rid of that. But apparently that also blocks the pineal gland. And then a lot of pollution, and there's a lot of factors. But the most important one, he says, is fluoride and mercury.
Okay, all right. Now, are there any other signs that your pineal gland is not healthy?
Yeah, well, he's saying, you know, it's basically not feeling connected, feeling lost.
Nothing else like headaches or no physical symptoms?
No, not really. He says you can get migraines from it.
Okay.
If you really get a lot of that fluoride in, you can get migraines in it. There are some physical aches, he says.
Okay.
He's talking about it's like some kind of back pain. I'm trying to think. Oh, it's like how do you say that in English? It looks, what he's showing me, it looks like, you know how you have the spines, the little plaques?
Right, the little vertebra?
Yeah, and you have like nerves that go through it.
Right.
And it looks like it's like being squished.
Oh yeah, like a herniated disc or something?
Hernia, yeah.
A herniated disc, yeah.
Yeah, you can get like hernias from it in different locations.
Okay.
But it's mostly how you feel that it affects, he says.
Yeah. Well, how do you detoxify? How do you open up your third eye?
He says, first of all, a good diet is very important, he says. Try and get that fluoride out of your water. He says in the States it's really bad.
Yeah.
In Europe, apparently the Netherlands is not so much, but most of the world have it, you know. He says you can get filters to get that stuff out.
Good, I have that. Well, okay, so, but then all your teeth are going to fall out if you don't have fluoride, right?
He says no.
Okay.
He says, because we've had it from
oh yeah,
we're young, so we have enough fluoride build up to last us.
Okay.
He says there's certain foods that you can eat that detox. Like he says, pure cocoa. Can you
Oh,
get that?
really?
Pure.
Yeah, I guess so. Interesting.
He says pure cocoa. Lime is very good.
The lime in the coconut.
Yeah, he's saying something weird, but I don't know what it is. It sounds like
Spirulina?
spirulina. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know what that is. So he
I
says
don't either. I've heard of it though.
Coconut oil.
Okay.
But there's a whole list. He says, but
Look
you
it
could
up.
probably look it up. He says it's
Okay.
all over the web.
Okay.
It looks like cilantro. I don't know what that is.
Oh, cilantro. Okay. Ooh, I love
It
cilantro.
looks like a green vegetable.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Any other things beside dietary?
He says, yeah, you can open it through meditation.
Okay.
Um, he says the thing that's so special about this gland. He wants to explain what it does. He says, well, it's important. First of all, it makes serotonin,
Okay.
which makes you feel good, or if you don't have enough, makes you feel bad, he says.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of controls your mood. And then it also creates melatonin,
Right.
right?
Uh-huh.
But the most important hormone, he says, is DMT.
Okay.
Oh, wait, well,
Isn't that
hold
one you
on.
get from kissing
That's a
kissing a
long word.
frog? Oh yeah. Oh, it's
Hold
okay.
on.
He said the whole thing out. Oh, I don't know what it is. It's like diethyl methyl blah 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 blah. I don't
He's
know.
showing it to me written down. It looks like dimethyltryptamine,
Okay.
something like that.
I'll take your word for it.
I hope I said that right. Dimethyltryp. It's a hard one. It's a hard one to say.
Yeah,
Dimethyl.
that's what you don't you get that from licking like frogs in the Amazon or something, and it makes you trip out. I think there is a natural amount. It occurs naturally in our body though in small amounts.
He says the thing that's so special about this gland is the DMT doesn't always get produced. He says they only see a production of it when you're born.
Hmm.
So just after you're born, when you die, when they see it in people who have near-death experiences, he says,
Wow. Huh.
and when you meditate. The rest of the time, it is not being produced in the body.
Wow.
So that hormone is the pathway, it's the gateway.
Oh, cool.
He says that's why it's important when you meditate. What you can do, he says, again, Mom, what you think, you create, right? So he says if you visualize that there is an eye here, or whatever you want to see it, or a light, or a spot, or whatever. In India, he says they put a little spot here.
Yeah.
That's the symbol of the third eye. You see that on the Buddha statues. You see that on things, even in Egypt, everywhere. Because everybody knows that's where the connection is. And he says if you just visualize when you're sitting calm, or you don't even have to meditate, just try and get calm, try and relax, and close your eyes, and you visualize that the eye is opening, or that there's a bright light coming out, he says.
Oh,
just visualize that opening. And he says you will feel it tingle. That's the first step. You will feel tingles in your head. It can also come with a pressure inside your head. He said, don't worry when you feel that your head's not going to explode. But a lot of people feel a really big pressure inside their head. But he says, don't worry. It's not going to go boom.
Oh, let's hope not. That could be pretty messy.
It's cool, Mom. You should try it, really.
Okay. Well, what about music? Any kind of music or any kind of frequency of sound that would help open it up?
He says yes. He says for people who use like the ohm and the
Oh yeah, right.
He says the ohm sound is
Okay.
very good. But there's it's like 385 383 I see 385 Hz hertz. I'm guessing.
Okay.
So binaural beats, he says, is also
Okay.
good. He says you can find them online too. There's thousands of third eye opening music pieces.
Oh.
But he says always listen with the ears, with ears.
Okay. Earphones. Yeah.
Earphones,
Okay.
because he says you will really feel the vibration inside your head. And basically, the vibration has to get to your pineal gland. That pineal gland starts vibrating, he says, and you will feel it in your head.
Wow. That's
So
fascinating.
I recommend that to everybody.
So, um, how does it, how does it technically work? Maybe he won't be able to tell us, but how does a molecule become a bridge to the other side?
Ooh, good question. He says it's kind of hard to explain, but it basically has to do with vibrations. It's I really have no idea what he's talking about.
It's probably pretty complicated.
Yeah, and I'm not really good at all that physics stuff.
Well, does it make our spirit the same vibration as the molecule, or maybe something like that? I don't know.
He's just showing me an image, but it's like it's vibrating and it keeps vibrating, and as soon as you activate it, it starts going crazy.
Uh-huh.
And it gets to, I guess, a level that they can connect with.
Oh, I see. Okay, so y'all can connect to us when the frequency is high enough.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
And
Okay.
that DMT is one that is super sensitive to going high real fast.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
And I guess, I don't know, you get to their vibrational level, and then you kind of find that connection.
You tap in, and you're hooked up. So, anything
Sounds
else you
kind
want to share about the third eye?
He says, just a little fact. He says, did you know that when a fetus is formed, that the pineal gland is the first gland or the first organ that exists?
Wow, interesting.
So before there's a heart and a brain and anything else, first the pineal gland, because they need that connection right away for whoever's coming in to be already connected to the mother's body.
Oh, I see.
Mentally, like not physically yet.
Yeah.
They're not going in yet, but they already have that connection. So they can already feel what the mother is going through, and it's just like barely anything. But he says doctors can already see the pineal gland at 3 weeks.
Wow, that's amazing.
And he says when babies are born, that pineal gland is full open.
Yeah.
Like they have total connection to Earth and the other side till they're about 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah.
And then it kind of slows down a little bit.
Yeah.
It kind of reduces, unfortunately, because of wave based and and if it's not being supported and it's not being nurtured, it just kind of fades away, which is
that is too bad. Well, you want to end off on that depressing note, or do you have anything else to share?
Yeah. He's saying, no, just check it out. Check it online. There's so many good people who explain it step by step.
Okay.
And follow those steps, and you will see miracles happen, he says. You want to connect to us? That's the way to do it.
All right. I can just see him doing that. All right, sweetie. Bye.
He's saying, bye, Mom.
Love you.
Love you, too.
Talk to you in a few.
Okay, bye.